Well, good evening. It's less than a day now until we expect the government to release secret files surrounding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. If you were alive, you know where you were that fateful day when JFK was shot in Dallas.
And if it was before your time, you know it's history that sparks mystery, and for some, even the idea of conspiracy. 4029's Katie Davidson talked to a man from Arkansas who was there. She brings you the story you'll only see tonight on 4029. Katie?
Fort Smith is now home to a man that spoke to JFK on the day he was assassinated. Jack Mosley was a news editor here in town for years, but before that, he was a reporter in Fort Worth in November of 1963.
The plane, AF-1, touched down. He felt the soft bump. Time, 11:07 p.m., November 21, 1963. In 13 hours, 53 minutes, he would be dead. My editor told me, he said, you've got to get a quote from the President of the United States that no one else has.
Mosley was trying to get it at a breakfast event. He positioned himself between two glass doors at the exit, then took his chance and grabbed President Kennedy's coattails.
The Secret Service grabbed me. They pull me, I pull the President of the United States.
That's when he says JFK turned, saw his press credentials, and said,
Mosley, let go of my coat and you can follow me anywhere. Come on.
You can see him here.
Right here, that's me.
Standing behind President Kennedy just before the world changed.
President Kennedy has been shot in Dallas, Texas.
You didn't have time to be emotional. You didn't have time because something else had already happened.
Mosley learned of the president's death when he walked outside after lunch to see traffic halted and people listening to the announcement on car radios. For the next 4 days, he covered the tragedy, and then he was assigned to cover the funeral of Lee Harvey Oswald.
I did something that I'm not proud of, but I did it. And I was one of the newsmen who was carrying the casket.
It was a lot for a 27-year-old reporter.
And suddenly, I just didn't want to carry the casket of the man who probably killed the President of the United States.
We asked Mosley if he'll read the papers when they're released.
No, I have no desire to. I'm 80 years old. This is something that happened 60 years ago. This is for historians.
It's still unclear just how many files will be released. If you're interested in reading them, you can find them on the National Archives website tomorrow. Live in Fort Smith, Katie Davidson, 4029 News.
Well, the president pledged that, subject to receiving further information, he will allow the long block files to be opened.
Experts do not think, though, JFK's autopsy report will be released tomorrow.